Sup, y'all? How's it going? Happy Thursday. We are in Thursday mode, which is great. It's fun. Anyway, what's up? How's it going? How is life? So today, life is pretty good here. Sorry I had to postpone yesterday. I had to take the dog to the groomers and then had to do some, and then I had to go do my workout after work, and it just turned into a bit of a, not really a mess necessarily. I just don't like dealing with working out and then streaming. It just makes the day feel a lot longer than it needs to be. So I decided to not do that. So I postponed it to today, and I followed through on the postponement because here we are. So what does that mean? That means that today we are going to be doing, sorry, one sec. I'll make sure YouTube's doing right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So that means that today we are going to be working on PocketBudget. So I want to get through these things over here. Oops, sorry. We have the cash account flow. No, wrong hand again. Ooh, hard. We have the cash account flow. I want to load the last used budget and transaction list view. So I don't exactly remember where we were last week. Let me open up terminal real quick. Get that moved over here. Let's do pocket budget. CD. Pocket budget again. Yeah, so let's look at the last thing we did. Instead of there it goes. Let's do git log, right? That's what we'll do it. All right, so looks like we did the dashboard view for some lazy VStack and performance issues. So probably if I go into dashboard view and I turn on the canvas, why am I getting a couple warnings here? Oh, yeah, so I felt like this is a weird warning. Like they're gonna deprecate, whoops. They're like gonna deprecate the joining of text, it looks like. And I get this every now and then it disappears, and I don't know. I'm assuming that they're actually going to deprecate it, so I'll deal with that warning in a little bit later. It's not as, well, I'll just do it right now. So basically this warning is saying that they're deprecating the fact that you can use the plus button. Not the plus button, you can use the plus to join two texts together, so you can apply like a different font across the same line of text. So like when this loads, what we'll see here is it needs to load first. Maybe it'll load, maybe it won't. We'll see what happens. It should load. Anyway, this text here is smaller than this text, but it's basically like the same paragraph or line. Like if I got rid of this new line character, it'd be all in the same line, and the "and way too much coffee" would just be smaller. But it looks like we have other issues going on. Oh, why? What? That doesn't make sense. What if I just command clear? Oh, I probably targeted this for 26. We don't, I think that was just for to be easier on defaulting to what's built, so I don't have to do like the if available things. But if I do, then we'll figure it out. The minimum deployment, but the platform only knows how to compile for 18.5. That doesn't make sense. Why? I'm really confused. Like, what's going on? Like, this didn't change. Sorry, dealing with technical difficulties here, trying to get the app to build. There it is. What changed? Nothing changed between last time and this time. It literally looks the same. Hold one sec. Yeah, I'm not trying to build there. Sorry about that. The cat wanted to come into the office, and I bet she's gonna want to leave, so I'll let her out in just a moment. But I don't understand because we literally played with that last time. What do you mean it doesn't know this? Weird. All right. I'm guessing something got messed up in my Xcode fun stuff, which. All right. Maybe that is the last time the cat's leaving. I have no idea. I don't understand. Hold on, let's try quitting Xcode. Is there a new like beta out? Is that? Hold on. There might be a new beta out, and I might have effed up somewhere. Because I didn't upgrade. Beta release notes. But is this the latest? Apple developer.apple.com. We're gonna see what happens. I'm really confused why that changed. Downloads. It's gonna make me sign in. Sorry, I don't want y'all to see all the things I have iOS developer-wise on here. Applications. Xcode, June 9th is the last one. Cool, 16.4. 16.3. I mean, 16. Yeah, Xcode 26 beta. The last one was June 9th, which is fine. I did notice I got a new iOS beta this week, but not a new iPad OS beta, nor a new Mac OS beta, so doing different things there. Ooh, what was new? I just updated the phone, I didn't do anything else. Low beta, low battery things, frameworks. Okay. Alright, so Xcode should just work. Let's open it back. And open PocketBudget. That's not is it? Oh, I guess it is. Behaviors, navigation. Ugh. I actually don't like the new one of this. Let's just delete my whole derived data. Location, because that might do it. Oh, yeah. Duh. Let's reset these. And it'll find them. It has to rebuild everything basically because I derived data. Build failed. I know. That's what happens. It went away. I did that on purpose. Anyway, if you're an iOS developer and use Xcode, how has the new betas been treating you? Because so far, like, my stuff has been fine except for this. Like, I don't understand why this is an issue now, but it supposedly is. I was also getting issues with this said it couldn't download or something. Like, I was literally just working on stuff earlier today, so I don't understand. Can I just delete these? Because I don't know the last time I used these. Also, like, this is tons of gigabytes of info. I'm not worried about iOS 18 right now. I'll download them again when I need them. Great. So now, let's see if this finally works. Again, the great joys of Xcode beta is you never know what's going to break. Also, the great joys of Xcode, you just never know what's going to break. So here we go. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. I've noticed like my mic being weird sometimes when I pick things up. Like whenever I start at the beginning, I'm assuming it's fine. No one has said otherwise, and there's a couple of people watching, so it should be okay. All right, so it looks like it's working. Great. All right, so like this says that it's being deprecated, so let's go ahead and fix that. I would assume I liked the plus here because it made the most sense to me, but I think all I need to do is this, since it said that plus was being deprecated. So I think I need to do that. And then what we do here is really gnarly. We wrap this like that, and we put it all in one line, which is insane. And then we can get rid of that. So now it's there. All right, so that's basically what they're deprecating. So we're going from this nice little, like you can read what's happening pretty easily, to this where you can't really read what is happening, where it's kind of it uses like string interpolation, which is interesting. So we can do the same thing basically here. So down here, handcrafted by Jay, and way too much coffee. So if I took out this like /n, it would all be on the same line. Well, and then wrap as needed, right? See how it's like two different fonts? That's what I'm going for. Or two different like font sizes. That's what I was going for. All right, so great. Took care of warnings. Let's go see if I can now bring back app view. Like, will this work now that I got rid of like those things? It might not, and it might still, there we go. All right, so what this tab bar minimize behavior is it makes the tab bar like go away as you scroll down, which I assume is probably what we want. And then when we scroll back up, it comes back. That is the whole point here. All right, I don't know why that was happening, but that was weird. I guess it was refactor. Feels weird, but okay. Use string interpolations for text instead of plus. Great, we'll go ahead and push that up. All right, what are we doing now? That is a great question. So on the agenda today, we need to finish up the add account flow. So we're doing the doing column, and the transaction lists view. We need to filter the button to show. I know that that's what I said I would do next. Whoa, where'd it go? But does this actually make sense? Yeah, I guess so. So we just need to make this transactions view here have like a little filter button, and you'll filter by like account, basically, is the idea there. hear hooligans outside. Alright, so we need inside features. Let's add a new folder. Transactions. New file. No, it is not. This is Xcode. So the new version of Xcode 26 beta. You will not really find me diving into Android for a while. This is just transactions list view. So yeah, this is Xcode 26. I'm working on an iOS app, budgeting iOS app. Yeah. This is transactions list view. So inside app view, let's go change this instead of there. Great. Yax Patel, do you work in Android Studio? Are you a developer of any kind? I see a computer, but yeah. So now we have, hello world, this is the transactions list view. Perfect. Let's go put a, so the question is like how, I don't think that we should really call this a transactions list view. Maybe it's just like transaction home view, and then there's more, there's like different components inside of it. My only qualm with making this like the home view, like when you tap on it, you immediately see this, is we gotta have a navigation stack so that we can have the button in the top right corner. We need, and there might be some other things that go on top that make this not a standard transactions list view. And then the list view can be what's like just passed in a list of transactions. Yeah, so let's, I still don't know if this is quite right. I like the idea here, so we'll have to see how I play with it more. So we'll call this transaction. How do we feel about transaction home view? I feel like that's a good title for it, but it also, transaction container, transactions container view. There we go. That was a much better name. Sorry, loud. I know, it's okay. It's fine. Sounded like a car, sounded like a gunshot, could have been a car. I have no idea what that noise was. Hey, Adam, what is up? What's going on? Alright, so instead of here, yeah, I sure hope it's a car. Especially being downtown. It was just real loud with lots of echo, which was weird. But yeah, we're gonna hope it's a car. I mean, and that's it. Or a very small batch of popcorn. Maybe, yeah. Since I moved up to the Pacific Northwest, I didn't, the windows are just always open, which is not something I'm still quite used to. Like, we have AC, but it's like in wall, like that's the AC there, so it's like on wall, it's like a wall unit, not like central air and heat. So our windows are just constantly open, which means I get to hear all of the outside and nothing is muffled. So hearing that noise, like it's still sometimes is a little shocking as to what is heard. Navigation stack. Alright, and then here we'll have the transactions list view. Navigation title. Toolbar. Okay, so I've never used like toolbar content, but there should be a way to do it. Are you in PDX, Seattle? You love living in Portland. It was such a great city. I am close. I'm basically in Portland. I'm in Vancouver, so I'm basically in Portland, the United States, Vancouver. Yeah. So, and it's been great. It's been awesome. I know that it's smaller than Portland, but it's been a great city also. And I like that I actually like that it is smaller. We've gotten to meet some great people. Nice. Yeah. So there is this like toolbar content. So can I make like hold on, we're gonna Bandcamp. So I feel like I should be able to do constructed from multi-expression closures. I feel like I should be able to do that kind of like at View Builder. Yeah, it's been great. I love Vancouver. It's been nice to me. So what? Is this how it works? I've never used the toolbar content. I just imagine it's gonna get crazy. Menu. I want the system type. There's one with like a system image. Accounts. What should we use for the accounts? Like, but that's like account, like person, like oh. Bank building. I mean, it's pretty cool that I could like localize the bank building. I was just hoping that there'd be like a general building. That looks banky. I'm really not sure what's gonna happen here. Nothing. Oh, this is where, haha. I don't quite understand what this primary action's for. So primary action is the primary action control event. I don't think I need that. So then here we'd probably have like a is that right? So what? Oh, could I just, instead of a menu, could I just have a, well, could I just have a picker though? So like, I probably could and just have like a picker of accounts and that's gonna apply the filter. But I could also do like a button add account. And then this would show the new account view at state private var show new account is new account it is add is new money account showing equals false is new money account showing dot toggle and then billing is new money account showing. Alright, so I think this should work. Basically, there's this toolbar content builder property wrapper, which allows me to build this toolbar separately, so I don't have to clutter this part up here, like the view body, so I can just break things out. that's basically what I did here by conforming this toolbar to the toolbar content protocol. I basically just followed the same thing as a view builder. Cool. So text, sample. So I could also then just do like sample content here. Just to like break it up, right? So like, so I could have different smaller views and make it easier to read the actual body itself, and then the more complicated stuff gets broken down. That's basically exactly what I did for the toolbar. But I don't need this anymore here. At least not for now. All right, so then if I tap here, add account, preview crashed. Why? Oh, I probably didn't pass in. I probably need something that I didn't pass in, like a. It's probably, yeah. So it's missing the environment object. What environment do I need here? The budget service. Cool. Service.self var budget service dot environment budget service, but we'll give it will this app also auto download from your bank? That is the plan. Yeah, so the plan is to do that at some point. This is going to also be a really big, where I had, hold on. I thought I had, what is it? Oh, it's probably data configuration dot in memory. Cool. Yeah, so this is gonna be actually a really big app, I think. So for right now, everything's gonna be local. I am doing it all in SwiftData. But then there will be, there is a plan to make it not local to the device. It's gonna be, I'm gonna run my own like Postgres server and stuff. That's what I had started off working on whenever I started this series, was the Swift server for that. And then I got bored and wanted to work on the iOS side of things. So here we are here, working on the iOS side of things. Yeah, so that's what's going on. I'll be running a Postgres server, connecting and being able to store that in the cloud to allow for like storing that in my servers on somewhere to allow for like multi-device usage. And then also the server will be able to connect to Plaid. I'm gonna use Plaid, the service, to be able to bring data, to be able to bring bank account info in and out, basically. Or in, I guess, not really anything out. But yeah, my idea is to use Plaid right now. People say it's really expensive, but hopefully it's not that expensive and I can keep things decently priced is my goal. Hey, Michaela, thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a great night. And I appreciate you saying hi. Enjoy your night. But yeah, so that's my plan. Gotta have a server and all that stuff though for Plaid, or at least like a way to connect that. But my plan is to do the backend after this gets done. But I figured that this would give me a nice, like, let me learn like some iOS 26 things that I might want to do, stuff like that. Play with the design language, the new design language and stuff, and then go back to the backend whenever that's done. Because I might also decide that I don't want to actually run my own backend and use like something like Supabase instead, and figure out like, their function service so that they can call, like, I don't have to actually run a full backend if I don't have to. But yeah, so we'll see. Lots of things in the works, but right now that is my plan. Yes, it's in my roadmap somewhere. There we go. Now we can add an account. But I really don't like how big that is. Is medium enough? Maybe. I think so. Boom. Much better. Great. And still tap out. Awesome. Let's go make sure that we also need to be able to pull in accounts, but I know that adds to an account, but does it actually save inside my SwiftData? I think it does. So here is, we have the budget service. And I just do has accounts as true or false. So I probably should call the accounts. So this is, we have here the ability to create an account, and that's it. I also need to be able to fetch my accounts. For a given budget, so I need to not. I don't like that Xcode has now, like, this button now has 3 options instead of, like, just, it used to be to where in the previous version of Xcode, and the current version of Xcode, like the shipping version, you could just tap this button and get a whole, like, split view over and over and over again. And now you have to tap it and then tap it again. And they no longer open, and maybe it's just a setting, I don't know where it is, but if you edit a file, it no longer opens in a given in a new tab after you've edited it. The number of times I've closed my Xcode is way too high, because I accidentally do this and I do that, and it says goodbye, and I'm like, wait, come back. I wasn't actually done with you. Anyway, welcome to my struggles. And luckily it just opens back to the project I had open, but still, it was a little annoying. Alright, so what I was gonna open here though is the budget service. So I have a budget that's selected. Yeah, we can just use the selected budget. Hello, Mono, what is up? How's it going? Guardlet budget. Else throw. I think there's a service error for no budget set. Sweet. So let's do. So now we have the budget. Oh, we should do async throws. We need to. We'll just return an empty. You're doing okay. You're just swifting. What are you swifting for? Work, personal projects, side projects. It's going. I spent like the first like 15 minutes dealing with Xcode beta being beta, and now we're back to coding, and it's fine. Xcode forgot that I was running beta somewhere and thought that I was running not beta on the simulators, which was weird. I'm on macOS 26, so it literally has no other choice. But alas, that's what was happening. Okay, so we have the budget service here. Where is my account memory repository? I have a fetch all for a given budget here. So let's do let accounts equals try await fetch accounts. Nope. Account repository dot fetch all for the budget ID, and then we can return the accounts. Swifting in your day job, refactoring the onboarding screens from UIKit to SwiftUI. Lots of conditional rendering of components, so you're happy it's declarative world now. Nice. Yeah, the conditional rendering, I'm sure it gets a headache in UIKit world a bit. I've not necessarily had to do it, to be honest. I really need to. I've learned I need to get familiar with the UI kit stuff more, but there is, anytime I start a new project, I'm like, why would I do that? I am way faster in SwiftUI, but I think I'm gonna take some time to brush up on some UI kit stuff, just because sometimes it is more performant and sometimes there is a reason to go back to it, but we'll see. Yeah, I was noticing issues with my mic earlier, but I will bump it up a bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I don't know, this box I have does not work as nicely as I would like it to. And I think it is due for I think I am due for an upgrade at some point, even though this was the upgrade from what I had previously. Could also, I don't know, hopefully that's a little bit better. We'll see. Bit better. Good. Glad. Yeah, always let me know if my mic's messed up. Sometimes I have to like unplug it, plug it back in, and sometimes it's just weird and it doesn't come back correctly. So yeah. Is it just logger? Dot info. Actually, we'll just do debug here. Found accounts.count for budget.id.UI string. Cool, great. So we just found budget count. Privacy, I mean, that doesn't really matter. It matters to me. Public. I'll find it eventually. I'll probably need it eventually. Yeah, build your own nav stack last week. Wasn't too happy, but seems to be okay. You build your own nav stack, like for like just to get it correct, looking correct, or acting correct, like to navigate correctly. Because either way, it's always a headache to build nav, like build your own custom nav. And I feel like that was like one of the biggest issues at the company I currently work at, is trying to get it to work with design, but design wanted a completely different thing that like SwiftUI just wasn't built for. So then trying to hack at SwiftUI to get the design to work, and it's like, it was rough. We got there. We got something that worked for both. Lots of compromises from both sides along the way, but still like hard and not what I recommend at all. Cool. So we're gonna log when we find them. Let's go. I don't have anywhere to go back to. It's great. Container view. So when the container view comes up, what we want to do, I guess, is it really? Yeah. We can do a task here. Okay, so the question is, do I actually need, I feel like I'm gonna I should probably do a view model or something here. We'll see. I'll think about it. Because I'm gonna do, well, no, I don't think I need a view model necessarily. Like, how much do I actually want to complicate this? I have the budget service. The budget service is gonna fetch the, from the repository, right? So then that doesn't really matter. There's nothing really too complicated about this. If I want to add in tests, I can add them for the service. So yeah. So we'll do it at state private var. Yes, I will need transactions, but I need accounts. And then func setup async to catch try. So the first thing is let found accounts equals try that. What are we gonna do here? Try. I literally just had it in my mind. Budget service dot fetch accounts. There we go. Don't care about the error, but we will do. Let's grab the analytics from the environment. Great. Oh yeah, try await. Catch analytics dot log dot track error. View name. Transactions, container view. I think I do that like a little bit better, but we'll see. Error level. These would probably be critical. Whoops. What is going on? Ooh, I saw Nutterfy just went live. I'm sure he'll go longer than I will, so we will probably raid him later. All right, so you were doing a horizontal scroll view between pages and you needed a common animating background on all of the pages. Navigation stack has a background that's yeah. Tried introspect, it worked, but had a bad animation. So yeah, you totally get it. Design wants one thing, so we gotta hack together the SwiftUI limitation. Yeah. Oh, that's always hard with like the animating background. Oh wait, a common animating background. Oh yeah, so you had to do something like probably tricky with like Z stacks or something, sliding in and out. Would a tab, I mean, not to give away what you did, but like, I could also see trying like a tab view also for that. Like the one with the pages at the top that you can swipe in between. I'm not saying it's the right way, just a thing to try. But yeah, I think I actually ended up implementing something somewhat similar, but we did the swiping, right? So we did swiping between the pages, but we didn't have an animating background view. But I had to basically make a top tab view that could swipe and scroll at the top. Yeah, it was weird. It needed to be scrollable via swipe. Yeah, I see. Yeah, things get hard. Cool. And then, so on dismiss, probably the worst way to do this. Yeah, on dismiss, we're gonna call, I guess I don't really want setups here. Setup. Private func. Not reload data. Fetch accounts. Throws. Set accounts here, because then we can just do try await. Set accounts. Perfect. And then we can do here task set accounts. I know it's not gonna like automatically, of course it is. Do try await catch. Literally the exact same thing here. I'll have to figure out. I don't like that at all, but that's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, it gotta figure out how that works. How to clean this up. I think I will be going to a view model just because this looks gross. And I know that this isn't going to be like real time. Then we'll set an account. So it creates an account. Well, it's gonna check every time on dismiss, create the account, check if there's new accounts to be made. And then if there is, we need to actually show them here. For each account in, private var selected account equals nil to default to kind of login register flow, so you need to be able to disable swipe to go forward at a minimum. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, and the iOS version makes it harder if you want to keep it strictly in SwiftUI. Yeah. I think that's the hardest part about SwiftUI is like everything. It's really hard to go back from time to time. Selected account equals nil. Else. Yeah, I know. Select account dot ID equals account dot ID. Else selected account equals account. Cool. So basically what this should do, I think, ugh, gross. Sorry, I'm saying gross too outside. There's lots of people with motorcycles, I think, going tonight. So what this should do is I should be able to hit add account here and give it an account name. We'll call it test. We add the account. I don't know if I actually implemented add an account. Did I? Anyway, what it should do is then fetch accounts here to show here. But I don't know if I did that all right. So where is the new money account view? Did I thought I had set that. So we have add an account. Try await, catch the error there. Should create an account. Oh, but I'm not dismissing. That would be the issue. Environment /.dismiss var dismiss. Okay. I wonder, so like, can you override what the dismiss does? Probably not. You probably can't override what the dismiss does. Well, I guess actually that's what the onDismiss action is. While this dismiss action can be used to close a window that you create with the window group or window, prefer dismiss window uses instead. If you do this, the sheet fails to dismiss because the action applies to the environment where you do. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's go. So much. An action that dismisses the current presentation, use the environment value to get the dismiss action instance for this current environment. So you call the instance directly because it defines a function. On apps targeting iOS 18 and aligned to releases, you could use this to dismiss action to pop the implicit stack. Sheet context view. Someone can dismiss the sheet by tapping or clicking the sheets button. Be sure that you define the action in the appropriate environment. For example, don't recognize the detail view in the example above. Don't reorganize the detail view. Reorganize, not recognize. So that it creates the dismiss property. Calls it. So this would apply the detail view. Oh, right. Because you're not you would need to toggle the is sheet presented from up here, not this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think I can actually change this, but cool. Sometimes the like header docs are super useful. But that's fine. So dismiss here. Now we can go back. So that should be on dismiss. So now when it actually dismisses, we should get everything. We should see it dismiss, is what I'm saying. Did I not call the dismiss? Did I just add the environment, the variable, but I didn't call it? 100%. All right. try again. Now that I called the value, because that obviously if you put something here, you have to be able to call it. If you don't call it, it's not going to happen. Nothing happened. It's not even dismissing. The hard part about previews that I don't like is that they don't show errors, like loggers. So like my analytics code here does log. It says like in the track error, like track event, we should get loggers, like logging properties, like, right? But because it's in a preview, you don't see them. So now we should see if there's an error. That puts everything in the service. And you know what? Why don't I copy what happened here? We'll keep everything local. It should be usable. All right. Add account. No budget set. Oh, that makes sense. I don't have a budget. Duh. Yeah, if I don't have a budget, it's not going to show anything. Okay. Well, that makes my life easier to know that that's what happened. Can I do two previewable states? So we're gonna hack this a little bit together. Gorgie, you got some gas, bud. Sorry. Let's do a progress view. Task. Budget service dot create budget test budget. And then is loaded equals false. Oh, what happened? Call can throw, but not. Ugh. Force it. No, don't fail to build anymore, please. Just build. Try. Wait. I mean, it makes sense that it's async, but like... Dude, go. Now it's just gonna be stuck. It's probably having issues. Hold on. All this so I can avoid actually building the app, like, properly. I love previews, like, they're great. That should be working. Oh, wait. Main actor, dot run. Maybe? Maybe not. Okay, let's try... Should work in app view. Maybe. Always seemed like it was working in app view because I do like an actual preview app. So I might try to copy this over, but let's see if I can actually get this to work here. Dismissed, and we have our test account. So it doesn't do anything, but it's here, and that's what I wanted. So that's that's what matters there. And because this budget service is set up in memory, if we go away, we come back, we should still see it. So yay, it does what it needs it to do. Again, it doesn't do anything else besides add an account there, but that's what I wanted to do here, is get this little menu to pop up. Sweet. I bet if I did something very similar to what I did here, let's just copy this over to here. Oops, get rid of that. Preview transactions container view. I know. And then we call that here. This gives it a new budget to be done. And then instead of app view, let's call transactions container view. And that should be what I need. There we go. And now it should work here too. I don't know why it wasn't working. It gets the previews get a little bit weird when you do the two like at previewable states. So this is what we got here. Boom. In theory, there will be an actual flow that happens after a user adds an account, so that like transactions and such can be added. But I needed this build so that we could actually add the account here and see it, which is great. I wanted to do a button, system image plus dot circle, and then let's erase this, label, whoops. So we want text. Oh, no, we can do literally the same thing we were just doing. Come back. System image. Oh, wait, but can we? Because I either want a check or I don't want a check. Yeah, I don't think I can actually. I think I do need a custom label. All right, so text. I mean, no. So this is gonna be 2 stream tabs open. Gotta watch them all. Hey, compile, what's up? Oh yeah, because Dave's going, right? Anyone else going? Or is it just Dave? I mean, Nutter. Wow. Account.name. So we'll do check. Just Nutter. Supporting all the team though. Thanks. It's hard when, yeah. We're just gonna ignore that. Y'all are the only 2 watching my Twitch stream, and I'll go black out the YouTube stream later. And nothing happened. That's where I obviously heard the name from, was the podcast. All right, so if selected account dot question mark dot ID, which, and in person, right? Or is the Nutter in person too? Yeah. And yeah. So if they're the same accounts. Oh yeah, I forgot we have met in person. Not forgot. We have met in person. We post photos about it on the Discord. Account.name. Should be enough. He'd still call CD in person, but would probs sound like CD? Oh, do we still need a system image in the name? So in the label? So could we just do, I bet this isn't gonna work. I bet the protocols are gonna be different and it's gonna throw a fit. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Sweet. I was really expecting it to throw a fit, to be honest. Oh, it's just not showing which one's selected at all. Well, that's lame. So how am I supposed to put in a selector, like a checkbox? I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to work. Lame. All right, let's sorry, I'm trying to put I realize my focus isn't on streaming. There we go. Now I won't get distracted by text messages coming through. Not that anyone was texting me before, but now for sure I won't be. Well, that's lame. I thought it would just work. When you hear people say the word compile anywhere, you wonder if they mean me. Always. Every single time, compile. Every time I say it at work, I always think of you. Well, this is lame. Sorry for just... Test. Or is it just not showing at all? Oh, it's just not showing at all here. And doesn't compile is the anti-me. I mean, it's literally the opposite. Instead of CD, it's DC. So yeah. It's obviously not you. So I'm curious. Because obviously it worked down there with like the system, right? And this could just be a wonky preview thing, right? Like it's not. Is check not It's not. You know what? I bet my whole issue was I was doing a system image that didn't exist. Let's try again. I bet that was actually my issue, is I was doing a system image that didn't exist. And that is not good. Yeah, it is. Well, kind of. Not really. There we go. It helps when you do system images that actually exist. If you do system images that exist, they pop up. Boom. Check that out. Yeah, I did install it custom, but I talked about this last time. What is it? What's it called? It is called Themes Capuchin Mocha. Capuchin Themes Xcode. I love it. It's great. They've got a couple different themes here that you can choose from, obviously. So there's a light mode, which the light mode isn't that bad either. I actually use it in light mode too from time to time, especially when the sun is like beating in during work. I think it's this one that I'm using though. But yeah, I love it. Here's the link. It's great. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one that uses light mode. I just sometimes need to, because this window is right here. But yeah, super awesome. And then I use the font called Maple Mono. Also, so this is the font I use with it. I just like that it's not as like harsh, like it's more rounded, which is super great also. So there's that link as well. I should really heard your name or heard a font or both. I should really make like a quick like YouTube video about it, but yeah, I super love the font. It's been nice. A group chat I'm in somewhere dropped the link and it was great. I just, again, like the smoothness of it versus like a little bit of the harsher fonts like JetBrains or even SF Mono. They do the same. All right, so great. We learned my lesson. Use SF symbols that actually like work, that exist. Don't make up your own. Yeah, so that's great. So now I can add an account and do test. I bet if I had actually switched the container, like, or switched back to a container, it would probably all work correctly too. Anyone else use stars on GitHub as bookmarks? Yes. And then I never revisit them. Except for this one. But I usually actually add it to things, like I actually have them like different lists to go through. I don't know what the lists are necessarily. Like what, hold on. Let me get into here real quick, because stars. I don't know. I was making sure that things. It's like where it work stuff shows. I do work stuff with my GitHub, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously, but that's what I do. I'd love a tip for SF symbols. Where'd it go? So my stack is usually, I made a dot files that is way too old. The Swifty constants also I never use. I should probably delete these. But I like to add, I should start adding things to things that I use in here. So like the Capuchin theme, Xcode theme will be in here. There we go. Feels weird. I'm gonna unstar my own thing, but I don't use them. I should go make this private. I don't update them. But yeah, give me the tip. I'm ready for it. I'm sure you're typing it out. I do know that there's also like SF safe symbols. I love it. I love this package, the Swift package. My issue, not issue with it, like I wouldn't mind adding it at all. I usually do. And then they all, I think this aligns with your tip. And then they all come in as enums. So you just do SF symbol dot the one you want, which works great. It's awesome. And they keep it relatively up to date, which is great also. I just am lazy and haven't added it in. So your tip, Mono, is to create an enum of the SF symbol names you use in like an app icons file. Then create a preview enum of all cases so you can see all the icons used in your app in one file. Then use the enum. Then use the enum value in your SwiftUI files and never the symbol name. Yeah, that is pretty good. We do that at work, and I have done that before, and this comes back to the like lazy part of me sometimes, is that's just work that I haven't done yet. Yeah. That is pretty good. And then it's isolated to the ones that you actually are using versus like this, which is all of them. Which like I kind of, again, it's just, it has the system. It also does the like initializers, like rewrites initializers for you, so you can just use this SF symbols. And it's a pretty nifty package. Into a 24 square though. Oh my goodness, that is so useful. Like forcing them all into the square, just from the just for the alignment, right? Because they don't all have the same bounding box, so having the like square is like perfect, so that they don't all look like wonky or whatnot. If you have a line, if you're trying to do like a list and you're trying to get all the text and stuff lying next to them. But yeah, it was a huge frustration. It's always a frustration. Always a frustration. It feels like it should be there and then it's not, and then like I understand why it's not, because it's like a font, right? But it's still just like, why, Apple, can you not just make it make sense and work instead of having us to do everything like that? And that's your main reasons for your app icons. You know what? I'm gonna do it though. I liked it. Let's do it. I guess it's technically design. Empty file. App symbol. Enum SF symbol. Check. Sorry, I just heard a loud gasp. I guess the cat said something. So I had to pause for a second, make sure everything was okay. All right. You also use SwiftGen for the localizable, also because you can't stand to write the Swift key, to write the string keys. That's fair. I understand. The string keys are a mess. I always feel like those are like, okay, like waiting to happen. So I get it. I understand. Those are super useful though. So like, Mono, since you're here and paying attention, when you do these things, what, so like there's plus circle and then there's like plus, right? Do you just have them as two separate things, or do you actually do the like two separate cases here? So like, no, you don't have to. That's fine. I don't mind making my own because I don't care about the square thing yet. This is just for me to like, this is just for me to have fun and try something different in here. So I'm just thinking maybe I do want to learn from it. Yeah, that makes sense. Should just make it a string altogether. Okay, yep, makes sense. Got it. But like for the ones that have like variants, like maybe, anyway, I'll just do it like this. Yeah. So we do check mark, building, building dot columns. I haven't used any variants yet. I got you. So like this would be like plus dot circle. So like, could be ignoring it because it may flaw my solution. No, I mean like, so I was just thinking about like the difference between case plus and like, or case plus and then plus here, you know? So what, you probably just do import SwiftUI hashtag preview. Whoops, what is going on? Why? Here, and then what, like a VStack for each SF symbol dot all cases symbol in symbol dot raw value. ID. Is that right? I think that's right. Trash fill, trash dot fill, and then you have trash. Yeah, like so the ones that are fill, circle, slash, like those are technically all variants. So like in the image you could just do, I mean like if I had the image here, I was gonna think. So like here I could do like image, system name, check mark, right? So it's gonna pop up eventually, maybe if it decides to ever build, which it should. So you just iterate them separately. That, I mean, that also makes sense. don't know if it's ever gonna build though. It doesn't have to build playable. Just build the damn thing. Thank you. So like, there's the symbol variant dot fill, or sorry, circle is one of them. I think there's also a square. Not all of them have these different variants. What is it? Trash slash. Yeah, so again, not all of these have these different variants. They're just different options. So yeah, these should be right. There we go. Yeah, and then we could do oh, you don't need the array. Nice. Oh yeah, no, you don't. So if you're just doing all cases, because the string is hashable, so it can technically be the identifier. So as long as they're all unique strings, it should be fine. Which they have to be for enums anyway. Yeah, that makes sense too. Cool. Can we do... I guess there's not a way, because you have your raw value, I guess there's not a way to get like what I call it in there, which is fine. Because like what would it render if I just said symbol? Yeah. But you could like do a variant. Maybe. Hold on. Let me think about this. See if this could do it. Switch on. Nope. Let's try to think. Use the variant with the symbol. Okay, so it's actually just... Oh, that's cool. So you can just... I didn't know that this existed. So what I just called... Okay, maybe not. I think it's fine. We'll go ahead and do this. A string describing a symbol that... I don't know why it decided it needed it all the... Okay. Cool. Font dot footnote dot foreground style dot secondary. almost what almost looks like I want it. This is just me being extra for something that doesn't really matter at the end of the day for my stuff. Oh, if I wanted it to all be the same size, I'd want to get like grids, and that's too much work. But let's do that. And then spacing dot. There we go. Enough. All right, I don't need to do anything else to this. As I do, just one more thing. Trailing might look better. Now we'll keep it with centered. Cool. Easier when you create a new screen and add a plus icon instead of your common plus dot circle icon. I'll use the icons are here. Yeah, makes sense. I like it. So then I can just do plus, and then I call the raw value in the thing. Makes sense. So then here, like we'd go here, we'd do SF symbol dot plus. Or sorry, this should be checked. Whoops. Raw value. And then SF symbol dot plus dot raw value. And this should be the SF symbol. Whoops, go back. Oh my gosh. Bank. If you really wanted to change your label component to only accept an SF symbol, but that's a refactored. Yeah. Yeah, I could like create an extent like another like init or something on the menu, right? Which I think is what the like the SF symbols, safe symbols did here. Initializers. Yeah, they just created an extension on SwiftUI image, which just did an init with the system name, which took the SF symbol raw value. But yeah. Never let Mono talk me into refactoring anything. It's a whole rabbit hole. Yeah, it is very nice. I like it. I think it's a little too much, but that's exactly what they did here. At the same, they just did the same thing with the custom initializers. He approved your whole app once, and you've never forgiven him. I mean, it's just a it's a cool little distraction, right? Like that was fun. Now everything works off of this SF symbol. I don't have to double check and make sure that I type in the right plus. Am I using plus or plus circle? I just do dot plus and it works. Like it's fine. Now CD has standards going forward. He can't reach himself. All right. I should go back and redo my tab views now. Look, y'all. Look, Mono. Look at what happened. List.star. Okay, and then we go back, and we're just gonna go back and forth, back and forth. Did I call it transactions list, or does it just not know? Oh, dot raw value. Whoops. sf symbol dot dashboard dot raw value. Look at Jay, all the way down that rabbit hole already. No, it was too late. It was too late, Compile. You waited way too long to get here. I already started the enum. Already started going way down it. I'm almost done. I only have 3 tabs in this app. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, see, I did plus here instead of plus dot circle. Not. But this should be the only place that a plus by itself is used, to be honest. Hey, stop licking your paw. Did you get sap in it again? Sorry, pets. They're great. I love them, but yeah. Twitch needs a feature. If monotypes have a suggestion, it should insta-ban. No. This is actually a really good suggestion. It's gonna keep me like really like, I like it. It's a good suggestion. It's just gotta like rein it in sometimes for me. Of like, don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't do it. If you're trying to ship the app, just wait. Instead of what we won't call this plus, we'll call it add transaction. Yeah. Whoops. And that way, like, when I try to do pluses everywhere, it's gonna be pluses in the circle instead of pluses, instead of just the standard plus, right? So, like, I'm getting more, like, descriptive of how I use them for some of these things versus what they actually are, which I think makes sense. You really just hate the string keys in iOS. Hey, stop licking your paw. Sorry. You just really, yeah. I mean, enums, like, Swift has the power. I might as well try them. I get it. Might as well use them. Thank you. We'll go outside soon, and you'll go to the bathroom soon, I promise. Thorgy will go outside into the bathroom soon. Cool. Alright, so that's there. I think I've actually ended up changing these now. I won't go back and do... I say I won't go back. Let's go do it. Dashboard. I have the empty... Where'd it go? I thought there was the no groups or budget. Where'd that go? Overlay. Dot, no. You do the same process in Android for the material icons. Even though they aren't string keys, having a single file with all the icons used in the app is lovely. I think that's a really smart idea. And then you really think, like, do you need another icon, or is there an icon you can already use? So, like, for the life of me, I already know I would never remember that this group with, like, the weird, like, dashes and stuff would be my, like, no pockets icon. So, like, the fact that this is already here, like, I know to go to this SF symbol, type in no pockets, and it comes up. Like, it's a lot better. Like, I think this is a good idea. I don't think you're wrong here. Yeah, you're commonly using filled icons or outlined to check the file, not search the app. Exactly. I agree. I think it makes sense. Or like the fact that there's like different arrows, right? So like all the arrows that go right. Like which one are we gonna use? Arrow light with a line, arrow right, right? Like now it's just decided which one to use. For iHug, I had done what had I done? For iHug, I had done just a massive, just one giant enum with all of the SF symbols. That was a bad idea. I mean, it was a good idea because then I could call everything up by like symbol dot, like, you know, like the enums do, but like it was not dwindled down to like the select few that I actually use in the app, and that was just, it's a mess. Slowly but surely I'm getting over that though. Where did dash, is it dash? Yeah. Symbol dot arrow right, raw value. Cool. And these should all just, it should look the same once it loads. Okay. This is weird having a suggestion being embraced. Usually compile dev just moans and gives me evil eyes. I mean, to be fair, like, my idea is to get this app done by August, so I'm hit so I hit my renewal like before my renewal. But like this is a really it's a smart idea at the end of the day, to be honest. I like it. Is it gonna load ever? Probably not. It's gonna take way too long to load. Why? I could probably actually read that and find out, but let's try again. Less mono, more ship it. I gotta do that at some point, but right now, tonight, this was a good idea. I like it. I also don't mind doing this kind of stuff on stream because like I do work on this app outside of stream. So like outside of streaming, so like if I feel like I'm falling behind, like I can always catch up on it later, right? Whereas going down these rabbit holes like are fun on stream also to like implement and see where I'm going wrong. And I don't know why my preview is not building yet again. All right, do I have everything in place to actually build the app though? Almost everything is in place. I need to load the last used budget, I think is what I need to do. Whoops, hold on. Commit message following conventional commits based on the staged contents in Git. It's a weekday and you're feeling like you should not give Mono and Z a hard time. Keep that for the weekend. That'd be nice. Yeah. This is all too much, but let's refine. Just one line only. Don't worry. Just one line only. 2:45 on a Friday there. It's practically the weekend. You're mentally checked out. I get it. Ah, perfect. No, but... No subject, please. Oh. Isn't this subject? No, I want the subject. Just not the part. I thought the part in the parentheses was the subject. Anyway, sorry. I'm trying to get the AI to write my git commit message because I didn't want to. Yes. 2:45 on a weekend. That sounds glorious. I still have one more work day. Great. Yeah, no, that sounds great. Working tomorrow, and then working tomorrow, then the weekend comes, and it's gonna be amazing. I think it's supposed to be cold here. Is that right? Yeah. 58, 48, in Celsius. 14 for all those that don't do imperial units. But yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend. Nice and rainy, cool, which is awesome. I'm excited. Alright, so we need to load the last used budget as the active budget and set the active period to today's month. So this is also assuming that a user going through onboarding always has an app, always has a budget. But what if they have no budget? So I guess if has onboarding. Alright, so first we need to know if there's a budget or not, right? If the user even has a budget. Just give me a new file. What am I doing? Select last used budget. All right. So goal is select last used budget and then open dashboard to current month. All right, so we need to make sure that okay, so first the flow, checking the flow. Does user have a budget at all? So yes. Where do we go? So if a user has a budget, or no. So user has a budget, yes. So check. Does user have at least one budget? Get the last used budget and assign that as the active budget, or as the budget service dot budget, right? Yeah. To set the active period to this month. If no period for this month exists, then create period and set it. If period does exist, set it. That should be all it takes. Oh, and then finally show dashboard. You need to do some serious web dev this weekend. You had already delayed this web release from end of April to end of June, and you're still not done. Did limit the scope this week though, so maybe you'll be in an alpha release date. Ooh, that's exciting. Yeah, I felt like the, oh no, it needs to be done by now. Oh no, it's now. And then you cut scope, yeah, and it just all gets up. Hopefully you're able to get it all done though, and that'll be nice, and get that weight off your shoulders. Okay, so does the user have at least one budget? Yes, no. So the user does not have a budget. Sorry, I probably can't actually read that. No, I don't care about updating cursor right now. It's fine. All right, so if the user does not have a budget, does not have at least one budget, we need to show the create budget screen. Right? I feel like just showing the create budget screen should be enough. What is the create budget screen? So like I have this like onboarding section that shows the budget screen. So what, title, create your budget, give a budget. So like, should I make like a new one? If I make like, that isn't just this onboarding add budget, probably. And it's literally just give your budget a name and you start budgeting. Or should I just make people go through I shouldn't make people go through the onboarding again. That's for sure. Because they would have already been through the onboarding. I guess I don't really have a way to add a budget. I wasn't gonna do that yet. Do I have a way to delete a budget? I guess is actually the better question. I do have a delete all data button, which doesn't work right now. I could always take that. I could always delete that. And then you're just never able to delete your current budget. I'm trying to make this scope, like trying to decide how to cut scope here rather than like, and keep everything going. Eventually though, I do want to support multiple budgets. That's the whole point of this, right? Is to be able to support multiple budgets. You felt bad releasing an admin portal where the only thing they could do was pay. You felt like you needed some basic features at a minimum. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You could have released it because of all the payment stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. I understand that. You don't want to just put in the payment system. I get it. Okay, so I don't know why this is taking me so long to like actually think through on what I want to do here. It's not that hard. Show the create budget screen. So I will need to tasks, create a new budget screen, view, whatever. This is done. We did that. We can do that too. Those are done. All right, so yeah, we have the ability to create a new budget view. So we create the new budget, then we set that budget, set the created budget as the active budget. Actually, all we need to do is call budget service dot create budget, and that should handle setting everything else up. Okay, so we just need to create this budget screen, and then and then implement this logic of does the user have at least one budget. So where does this go? Where do we check for that? So there would be like an intermediate step, I feel like. Well, or could it happen inside app view? So I feel like there's like something in between. So app view makes sense, right? So you're either gonna see, so it'd be like if budget service dot budget if let budget service. No, that's a lie. I don't want to go in here. I know I don't. Because I think everything in here is built off the fact that there is a budget already set. So if view model budget service equals nil, we set up, we load the pocket data, like all that jazz when it shows. So yes, this is all based on the fact that there is a budget already here for these dashboards and such inside app view. So we're gonna make a different option here. So, and we have budget service as a thing here. It has seen onboarding. What's up? All right, y'all. I have a dog begging to go outside, so I need to take a break. I need to think about what the next step here is anyway. If you have ideas, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll read them when I get back. Give me like 5 or 10 minutes while I take him out, give him a treat, all that jazz. And then we'll come back probably for another hour-ish and keep going. All right, I will, like I said, I will be RB. Yeah. All right, I'm back. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm back. I think I have audio. I think this is gonna be a test. Yes. Great. I like when things work as I expect them to. Sweet. All right, let's hop back into it. Trying to figure out where to put the like loading before going into has like the app view itself. Compile went to go get more coffee. Sweet. And Mono, you had 7-Eleven coffee on tap today for free, and you saved a whole $1. Hey, that is still better than spending $1. The apartment complex I live at has like a free resident use of like their coffee machine, and it's great. So like every other day, if I'm feeling extra lazy, like I make it in the K-Cup at home, one step above that is going to get the free coffee downstairs. And then whenever I'm like, okay, no, I'm fully awake, or like I really want to get like good coffee, but I don't want to spend money, that's when I do like the pour over thing. Also, it's really nice for like the routine in the morning if I do that. But yeah, you work in the 7-Eleven office. There's a coffee machine on each floor for free. Nice. That's cool. That is something I do miss about working in the office, is like the free coffee all the time. But yeah, some days any coffee is what's needed, mostly when you have to go into the office. Yeah, I understand. So let's so if we have seen the onboarding else, so we also need like, you're technically employed by 7-Eleven. Nice. Oh, that's cool. That sounds neat. So I feel like we need like an enum here. App loading. I don't really care about that anyway. State. So we know we can go case loading case has no. Do I really just need to know if it's loading? I guess it needs to know if it's finished. Right, finish loading. Finish is fine. So then we can do an at state here. Yeah, so it starts with loading. And then we have this if has seen onboarding. I don't like what is happening here, to be honest. Maybe check here for budgets. That's what we're looking for. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that happens with some of the big ones, right? And then here we do the app view. Like you're technically with some companies, like who you're employed by and stuff. Like technically that's not who you work for though. I like had a like whenever I was doing an internship, I was interning at this company called and it doesn't really matter. I was interning at this company called High End Systems, which was a subsidiary of Barco, right? But really, they contracted me out. But really, like my paychecks didn't even come from Barco. They came from whatever contracting service they used for the internship to pay me. So yeah, so like I was actually like I was working for High End, but like reporting to High End, really following Barco rules, top level rules, but getting paid by like this other third party company. And then whenever I went full time with them, I went to getting paid by Barco instead of just high end directly. And yeah, but yeah, that was a time. Yeah, all very weird. Yep. That's what happens. All right, so I think here we can check for budgets and all that good logic that I had first. Do I want to do all this logic in here? I think so. Well, no, I'd want to do it in the budget service. So let's do budget service dot we're gonna call it budget service dot initial load. I don't like it, but we're gonna go with it. All right, so that and it's here. So let's budget period instances. Whoops. Initial load. The user has a budget and will either load the last used budget or create a new budget. That makes sense to me. Let's do func initial load. I still am not the biggest fan of that function name, but we're gonna call for it. Async throws, boom. Do catch here, try, await. Dot error dot. I'm just gonna pass on the error. There's really nothing else that what is it? Error hold on. I'm like, there's nothing else that I need. JK, there's lots that I need here. Check event error occurred. We want to do oh, so that's the type. I don't need a type. Oh yeah, let's do that. Error level. Dot. It should be actually a fatal error, to be honest. If we can't do something there on initial load, we should just, we'll just call it critical actually. File name. Cool, that should be enough error handling for realsies this time. Let's do a case error, actually. Email support at cctplus.dev. Because you should not see this. Please quit the app and open again too. after emailing. Very good service there. Fix error view on initial app load so that it looks and sounds more professional. Alright. That makes sense to me. Even though in the switch case, did it run? Yeah. If budget service.id is not equal nil, then we can do the app view. Else, we want to do create budget. So like, I guess my question is, should I instead of doing all these different loading states here, well, with just one finished, I could actually just do a full budget, like have a case of a successful load and unsuccessful. That's fine. This should work. Let's just try it. Let me just not think it through, overthink it. Let's just get something that works first. So initial load here. That's only if we have, so after seeing onboarding, we're gonna launch this initial load to be used after a user has seen onboarding. All right, so first we need to check if the user has budget. So so guard found budgets equals dot is empty equals false, else return. There's no reason to keep going. There are no budgets. And it should, oh, whoops. And it should just go to the loading state equals dot finished. Let's put this in the command shift C. Why? Oh wait, main actor dot run. There we go. That should also be in the same thing. I think this is necessary. It might not be. I need to go back and rewatch the WWDC talks again. They were saying something about how you don't have, like, everything in the view should be on the main actor, but I don't know. I always do this for, like, safety whenever I'm in a task, so to say. Great. So we enter out of here. There are no budgets. A user needs to make one before. Oh no, if there's no budgets, then we can do this. Oh yeah, a user needs to make a new budget. We're not going to set that for them. Needs to make one before, needs to make one. The view will handle, the call site will handle what to do next. Okay, great. Then we want to do, so self.budget equal, so found budgets dot first. So I think I need to sort first. Dot sorted by bling 0 dot. So I haven't updated. Yeah, they updated the at. Great. Dot first. So you want to get the first one. Oh. Sure. So we want to get the first budget that has the highest, the latest updated at. And put that in self dot first. That works. Oh, I guess if there is not one, it would just stay nil anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter. This doesn't really matter. It makes me feel better that it's there, and it's just doesn't even have to deal with any of the sorting stuff. All right, let's run it. Let's see what happens. I think this all works in my brain. I don't know if it actually works correctly, but we're gonna say it does in my brain. I mean, my brain says it does. So let's see what happens on the simulator. This is a mess, though. I don't necessarily like it inside the like window group like that, so I might have to figure something out. But let's see. It's gonna take 5 ever to launch the simulator, though. Do you also need an iPhone to run the simulator, or is it part of the dev kit? Yeah, so you don't need an iPhone to run the simulator. It is part of Xcode's. It is part of Xcode. So as when you install Xcode, you get the simulator, which allows you to run the apps on your computer. Now, some things don't necessarily match, right? So like, there's some things that you just can't do on the simulator. Like if you're doing anything with the camera, you can't do. I think right now there's the limitation of with the betas, like with iOS 26 and macOS 26 introducing the foundation models where you can use like Apple's LLMs that are on device. You can't do that in the simulator, for example. So there are limitations to what the simulator can do, but it can get you pretty close. It can also help you see different things on like different sizes, but you get a slew of simulators with basically all the different like iOS devices that you can run on Xcode. So it's still launching, and it is taking forever to launch. You can run directly to your here we go. It's attaching finally. You can run on your device also, like can either over Wi-Fi. If you have an iPhone, you can connect over Wi-Fi or through a cable, and it all works fine. I do it a lot, but yeah. So let's get so this is the onboarding. Oh, look, I found another. There's still a couple. I didn't fully get all the symbols from earlier. What do we want to call this budget? Let's call it sweet. So it created all of these things, which is great. All right. So here's what we're gonna have to wait for everything to pop up again, though. So I quit it, right? Let's go run it again. It shouldn't take that as nearly as long. I know there's no revenue cat. See, user has not set analytics preference. Okay. Goodbye budget. I mean, I don't have my periods, but it looks like we did find a budget. I should probably say. Should see onboarding false, test environment false. Why is the test environment set to false? Oh, because we're not running literally tests like XC tests and stuff. That makes sense. We found groups, but I don't know why they weren't loaded. So let's actually add a logger here. budgets. And then we'll do one here. No budgets found. Sweet. So we have no budgets found. I don't know why the groups... I'm probably not loading something properly here as they should have been given. But let me just go and make sure. Oh. Error occurred, error ID, no active period set. So we still need to set an active period here. This just did the budget. So let's set the active period to this month. Do I have, so that's create Pocket instances. Do I have a set Pocket? No. Why would I? Because that wasn't needed yet. That creates the default Pocket groups, fetch Pocket data. No, so we need to set the active period. So this creates the budget period. I really wish it would just do that. All right, this creates for the active period. So let's do func set active period for date. We'll give a default of .now. So now we need to go and find out if there is a active period set. If there is an active period for this month. Okay. So I think there is a Pocket period repository, budget period repository. Equals budget period repository dot fetch all. That's gonna give me for the budget period. That's gonna give me all budget periods. I really just need to fetch a specific budget period, not for a specific budget, but where the date is in this budget, is in this, where a given date. Please go away. Okay, so func fetch period for date async throws, and then we'll return a specific budget period. All right, so we have this in our budget repository type. We need to go update the Pocket budget repository. So this is going to do, so that sorts, that would only, okay, so we need to get the, where start date and this date would be the same. So .values .filter bling 0 dot start date equals date dot first day of month. That should be right. Month, first day of month. Yeah. Wait. Cannot convert to, oh yeah. And then we do dot first. So What are we? Oh, because the period type is not. It should be a question mark. So. Active self.active period equals found active period, and then else self.create budget period for date. I think that makes sense. Yeah, and we gotta update these to throws, try await, and then this is also try await, I'm guessing. And self.active period needs to be await main actor dot run. That stuff to make sure it actually runs on the main actor, since that will change the views, I believe. And now we can do set active period, or set active period. Oops. Right? Is this right? Is this what I need? I feel like this, though, like there can be multiple. Yeah, I need a budget ID first, though. With the budget ID here. Is the process any different or difficult now with iOS 26? No, but right now I'm not dealing with many iOS 26 things. So like I haven't really tapped into anything like too hard that iOS 6 has, that iOS 26 is really throwing a wrench in it for me, to be honest. There were a couple of things I need to clean up, but this is honestly so new of a project that I'm working in that I'm not really refactoring anything. Once it gets later in the beta season, so probably like August, because it should be released sometime in September, I will probably switch gears a little bit from PocketBudget back to iHog, and we'll see what iOS 26 actually broke there, just because that is like something I'm currently shipping and it currently works and it's released on the App Store. So right now, no, there is nothing really that different about the process besides the fact that Xcode has changed. So this is the new Xcode. The biggest thing for me is that like the way that Xcode like used to open files, which I can't show because I'm on the betas for Mac, would be if you changed anything in the file, it keeps it open in a new tab. It keeps that window open like in a tab at the top. It no longer does that, so I end up just closing window after window. But yeah, that's like the only thing for me. Too much, to be honest. So this is for date of fetch period starting on the date for budget. And then we need to filter. So we'll do that. And then we also basically need to do 2 filters, I believe. My goal of getting the transactions done. So this is a really long way of me trying to get transactions in, because I actually do want to try to do something with the I do want to do something for the with the foundation models. So there's like the LLM, there's the local LLMs that I was kind of that I mentioned earlier. And I want to see if I can give it a bunch of transactions and give like summaries to the user. Again, this is a budgeting app, so summaries of where their money's going, maybe help them figure out where to budget their money, stuff like that. Able to add transactions and basic budgeting stuff in here first, so that's what we're going for. All right. So I think this filter is based on the budget, and then we get the same date and year, and then we get the orders. So now I need to update let's go back and update the repository type to match this again. Starting on date for budget. The work app will be a little bit more challenging just because we have some custom components with in SwiftUI that the design might mess up a bit, but I think we can turn that off with like a key for a little bit and set our priorities and that. Oh, the audio got a bit quieter. It was hard to hear me. Sorry. I don't know where it got quiet. Oh, you're totally right. I don't know why it did that. It's like trying to be smart and it's not. Hopefully that I just cranked it up. Yeah, the work app is going to be a little bit harder for me a little bit more work, but I think for the most part it all looks fine. Aside from some like custom components where we like morphed with a custom component, like we layered like a standard component on top and then put our custom component on top. And in that case, it's going to be hard, but for the most part, the iOS 26 stuff has been pretty nice, to be honest. I still need to build and run the app just one more time though on my phone. But I wanted to give more beta cycles for that, just because things are going to be changing so much. Okay, so we have this period here, so that should work. Let's go do so that's a period memory repository. There should be also here. I haven't actually added it yet. All right, Apple, let's see what you can do. Implement this function. It is using SwiftData. It needs to fetch the proper @budget period entity. The proper budget based on the budget ID @budget entity .domain ID. And if the starting date is the same as date. The in-memory logic can be found in @budget period memory repository, but this needs to work with SwiftData. I don't know. I felt like that was a good prompt. I feel like I give decent prompts like 50% of the time, but I also feel like OpenAI like really never understands what I want, even whenever I feel like I'm really confident about it. But we'll see what happens. It was a complex predicate, and I felt like it was just going to be weird. entity.startDate dot first day of month, just to make sure we do this right. Dot first day of month. I don't know if I can actually like manipulate data like that. I hope I can. That would be super easy and cool. Return period entity to domain. I think that's right. I think it did it. So it's going to create a fetch descriptor. Checks if the domain ID is equal to the budget ID, and if the entity ID start date is equal to the date dot first day of month. Let's run it and see what happens. I think that should work right. I mean, logically, it all responded right. So we just need to get it running again and see if this works. Nope. What am I missing? Oh, yeah. Let's see if it can fix my errors. Sometimes it's really cool at fixing errors. Sometimes it really just stumbles over itself. I feel like, though, the Xcode code, I forgot what they called it, but the ChatGPT integration, like the coding assistant, just really like is really wordy. Like all of this, like here's what's happening, but the code is budget service. Like it's telling me every single step, and I'm like, dude, like I know what's wrong. Like I literally just I hit the button that said fix it, please. Like come on, let's go. The call is now starting on. Yeah, that looks right. And I also don't quite know how to say yes, that's right. Or like, no, don't, like, that's wrong. No, go. What happened? Oh, hold on. This is, it gave me an error. Invalid key path. First date. All right, so I know, let's do this. Let's start of month equals date dot start first day of month. Let's try it again. Yeah, so it really didn't like having to compare entity.startDate with date. I didn't like having to do math in the predicate, which like I guess I understand, but that would be cool if it could. Oh, and so let's try again. All right, so there's still an error. The operation couldn't be completed. Filed, okay, in group. But why? Where's data error? Not found, okay. So still not found. I don't know what exactly is not found, but stuff is not found. We found one budget. Is the Xcode integration any better than just manually going to OpenAI and prompting, or is it easier to go for GPT to understand context? It's definitely easier for it to understanding context, but it's not easier to me. I really need to get like my Claude API key in here. I've found that I use this app called Alex Sidebar, which gives me basically this. but as like its own separate app. So it gives me this code assist, but it's a separate app basically. And it was first, and it's made by a really good group of devs who are really quick to respond, which is amazing. But I usually have mine set to Claude Sonnet 4, Sonnet 4, I don't know, whatever it is. I love it. It's great, and it usually gets it right on the first try immediately. And I find it a lot better this way. Going directly into OpenAI or like ChatGPT like is really good if I'm like questioning stuff, or if I want it isolated, right? So I can just paste in like the specific context, because sometimes it gets like a little too murky with the context, like overload. I've noticed it's a very fine balance. I'm trying to embrace it as like a tool to use, but it's hard sometimes. But yes, I would say if I needed to have a lot of context like between files like I just did, it's a lot easier to use the integrated Xcode. But on the flip side, I still think that Claude is better at this than ChatGPT. So it still probably won't replace the other app that I have right now. Okay, so where groups were found. Pocket group view model. Yeah, and you agree. You prefer Claude. Compile. Yeah. I don't know what Claude has done, but I'm glad I'm not the only one though that Claude is the preferred use. And it was really cool. That app that I just opened, Alex, they actually gave a whole free week for all of Deb week, which was super nice. I mean, I got a lot of work done also during that week. Like it was super nice and super awesome to be able to like use it. It's not Deb week anymore, so it's not the free trial, but yeah, I just found it to be super helpful, even for like small things. Like, again, I didn't want to write the predicate, so I was like, hey, write the predicate for me. And I love using it for animations, right? So SwiftUI animations are not my forte, like getting the right thing. But if you give it the right amount of context and like step by step what should happen when this data changes, like it can fully figure out that animation, and I really like it for that case. Let's go find what's going on here. Pocket budget not found. So, but in the pocket budget view model, it's probably these. Where am I logging? Where is the error? Error ID. The operation couldn't be completed. Oh, because it's a thing there. Okay, I see. Oh, but I don't want always. But they... Okay, anyway. So we're not finding whatever type it is. Something we're not finding inside the Pocket group view model. Which is interesting, because it can find it first. That is still analytics. Let's go back to the... Not there. There. No. Okay, so it's probably here, because we set up the view. And then we go through here, and we fetch the Pocket data. Like, what is it not finding, though? We're not throwing this error. It's this we probably aren't finding. I have a feel, I mean, that's really the only thing that it can be. Where? It's like privacy, right? I thought. Oh, that's the issue. Okay. Let's try running it again. And this is why we should be writing tests along the way, because I probably would have found this error earlier. But it looked like it was working when making a whole new thing. Okay, error fetching initial data, data error not found. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, actually, at all. I don't know why I said that makes sense. It doesn't. So which one am I calling? Fetch pocket data for group ID. So we probably have that. Fetch pocket definitions. Is it this that's not found? Yes, I'll find out. Because if we hit this breakpoint, then we know that's what's found. That was fine. Pocket instance, I bet is what it is. Which, like, why would it be the pocket instance? Okay, anyway, so we have definition groups. Amount to assign in group at least. And waiting for pocket. Why are there only 2? There should be more. Anyway, let's see. Okay. Oh, we did get, well, hold on. So, okay, so we are, but nothing's hitting this breakpoint here. So it makes me feel like we're failing here. We're not getting the pocket instance. And I don't know why. Yeah, we're getting this data error not found, which I really need to be able to throw a type here so I can find out exactly where the data error not found is. But yeah. So we're not getting this. Are we getting any instance? I guess not. There's no instances. How can I debug this to make sure there are instances? But like the instances should have just made. It makes me feel like we're not doing something right in here. So we have the definition, entity.definition.domain ID, definition ID. So we're making sure that the definition and the period is right. So this predicate, though, isn't working, I would imagine. And is there a way to view the SQLite database so I'm not like just tearing my hair out, assuming? How to view SwiftData. All right. If you're struggling with SwiftData, not sure whether your data is missing or your queries are bad, sometimes it's easier to just inspect the underlying thing, because that's something to do a lot. So let's add this extension here for the model context. Utilities, extension, new empty file, model context, import SwiftData, extension. Great. Okay, and then what do I do after that? Oh, you can get the SQLite by model context.SQLite command. Okay. And once I have the command, copy all of it from SQLite 3 all the way through to the ending quote, run it through the terminal, and you should see the version number of SQLite program followed by SQLite, which is the prompt where you can... Oh, okay. Okay, I think I can do this. I think we can try this. Gotta head out. Thanks for answering your questions. Thanks, Naimul. Appreciate you hanging out, asking the questions. Always happy to answer anything. Also, thanks. So thanks for sticking around for the stream. Have a good time. Mono, you're also dipping for a retro. Ooh, have fun. Enjoy it. Also, try to enjoy the retro, and I'm sure I'll catch you around somewhere else on the internet. All right, so we have that. I guess I can just run it. Can I just do the task here? So what? Whoops. Data, or sorry. Because I'm not really using the database the container properly. So let's do data configuration dot shared dot main context dot SQLite command. And handy dandy trick, because as you can tell, my console is like blown up down here. So this is where all the print statements are going to happen. I like to do a fun little emoji. Usually I use the trans flag. And let's run it. Because then you can filter by your emoji and see what's going to come out. A lot easier than having to filter through all of your things. But great, we have this. All right, so it said, Paul Hudson told me that I can copy that, paste this. Oh, no, go, stop, go away. Oh, including the SQLite 3. That's right. Cool. So now I have SQLite 3. Where is this? So I can read as I'm doing this. All right. So what I can do here is dot SCH. I just want to see this work. Oh. Whoa. Can't I go, though? Can't I, like, take this? Maybe I can't. I have a table plus reader here. Okay, so that has, like, everything in here, which is a lot. But I should be, I thought, able to connect new SQLite create. What is this? This is called PocketBudget. Test. Connect. Haha. All right. Anyway, I mean, I appreciate that I could do that command line wise, but I wanted, that scares me, to be honest. I'd rather not deal with command line if I don't have to. All right, so this is transactions. Pocket instances entity. Pocket instance entity. Okay. So like, oh, it's interesting because they keep everything as like numbers, right? So this is like the domain ID, which is interesting. That's a binary. Okay. So here's what the keys map to. Budget entity. So that like this is the name, like what I gave it. This is that UUID here that I also give it for a domain ID to map to non-entity objects. We have budget period entities. So as I said, where did I say it was like failing on? Finding the pocket instance entity. So we have pocket instance entities. Go away. Can you please? There. Okay. So these are the primary keys. So these are all unique. I don't actually know what the ENT stands for or the OPT. Allocated amount. Nothing's been allocated. Nothing's been spent. That makes sense. So this is the definition they belong to. That makes sense. And the period they belong to. So I should only have one period right now, right? Yes. Well, I thought I had one period. These look like several periods. Why are we making new periods? There should only be one period right now. Is it start of month is not right compared to like what's being written. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I need to figure out what it is. But I also need to stop for tonight because I have to work tomorrow morning. Thanks y'all for hanging out with me and chatting and all that good stuff. It's been about 3 hours now, so we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Yeah, I am gonna call it a night. Go to bed. Again, I appreciate y'all hanging out, watching, dropping the likes, dropping the follows, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all on next week. Probably on Wednesday. Back on Wednesday, probably, more than likely. As always, you can catch me in the Discord. Links in the descriptions everywhere. Or anywhere else on the internet. And I will see y'all later. Adios, y'all.